sports fans, 18-footer fans in particular. It's the 20th of October down in Sydney Harbour. On a beautiful afternoon, you just saw Grant Rollerson step aboard the Fisher and Paykel. A whole lot of changes in this fleet this season, and that's just one of them. We'll get back to that later on. No Mark Healy today. He's back up in the UK for a little bit of work, and we've got Warwick Rooklin, Wazza as he's known. He's just fresh off a Melger's 24 World Championship up in San Fran, so we'll get some information out of him later on. But welcome back. It's the start of another season. We've got a 3-buoy race today, a depleted fleet I might add. We're calling this a soft opening to our race coverage. It's a bit like the hotel chains when they open a new property. There's a lot of rust in that park, a lot of boats. There's been musical crews going on. There's new skippers come in. One of the headline acts of this fleet this year is Chris Nicholson, has come to sail the Mojo with a very talented crew on that boat, and he's not here today, unfortunately. He's up in China. Whole pile of news to tell you. We'll come back to you when Warwick turns up. He's out there getting some information in the park, but you're in for a good afternoon. It's maybe 15, 16 knot nor'easter coming our way. It's a fabulous day, and we'll get on with it shortly, and we'll introduce Warwick to you back in a second. Okay, so we found Warwick Rooklin. Thanks for coming out, mate.
It's all right.
It's been a while since we've done this, and this is I've described this as a soft opening today.
Yeah.
Because you walk around the park, it's all unorganised in there. The blokes screwing their boats together, they swap crews, and people missing, boats are missing. So hey, it's standard 18-foot skiff fair.
Yeah.
So I want to catch up with you about you've been over to San Fran doing a bit of Melger's work.
Yeah.
And how'd you feel about that? Good experience?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's always good to race there, and we had a good time. Very competitive field.
Where'd you end up?
We 19.
Okay.
So
out of
60.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's tough going, isn't it?
Yeah. And it was very light and funky, but no excuses. We're just not doing it enough.
Yeah.
But great. Great to sail against all those guys.
Yeah, some hotties.
So no, it was good. Really good regatta.
What life's all about, mate.
Exactly.
Have a crack. Listen, Let's get out on the water. We'll see you out there. Warwick and I got a lot of scratching our heads to do, try and work out who's going to podium out of this scratchy fleet. We've got no idea. See you out in the water. Okay, so we've found the Ripple side right beside us, port side, and we've got the ferry in your view at the moment. Now, still on AP, I think, but just to give you the heads up on what's going on. We don't have Gary Lineker involved as the PRO anymore. We've got a whole new team on there, Warwick. We've got actually a team from the Vaucluse Yacht Club. Cameron, nicknamed the Dog, and you've got Richard Winning, nicknamed Diesel, and there's another helper in there called Ten Bums. So how do you reckon they're going to go, buddy?
I reckon they'll go just fine with those names.
So what are we looking at, mate? We've got 15 knots out here, you reckon, nor'east?
Yeah, and definitely building. So everyone's on second sail, and so it should be, for a first race really. Great.
Rust.
Another summer. Yeah, but another summer coming around. Nor'east, the traditional Sydney Harbour kind of breeze, so it should be great.
Classic day, and of course these crews have got a lot of rust in them. This is their first real hit out, soft opening of the season. So we'll be not expecting too much. It's going to be pretty easy on them. There's no big run out. The tide's running out, but it's almost at the bottom, so no catastrophes at the Bearway, you'd think? Possibly.
It depends, like a lot of these guys have been around a long time, so it's no big deal for them to just step back in and go, but maybe some of the newer teams, might struggle as the race progresses.
So, it's a 3-buoy challenge, 3-buoy handicap, scratch start. The 3 buoys are laid up at the Beecher buoy, so all the handicaps unwind. Every time they go up to there, and there's 3 roundings that mark, these handicaps unwind. So you've got to, it's more like our job was, you've got to try and work out who's going around which mark, because the lead changes dramatically in these races. If you take your eyes off, if you're looking at somebody that's winning on scratch, they're not leading.
Yeah, we get the shortcut comes into it.
Yeah, cut the corner. So typical nor'easter, run out tide, first to Bradley's is the go, and then just step out and see which side of the harbour you want to run.
Yeah, pretty much, standard nor'easter in summer. So it should be good.
Yeah, good on it was. We'll come back to you. We've hopefully set it up. We're as rusty as anybody else out here. So the course today, course 1, you start off this line, you go up to the Beecher buoy. Spinnaker's on round Shark Island, back down to Clark Island. That's one lap. So up and back down to Clark, that's a sausage leg, and then back up the Boucher Boy around Shark Island and dash for cash to the finish line. And that's where all those handicaps will be unwound, and we'll tell you who's won this or who's on the podium. And there's no pick the podium, folks. Today we won't be starting that event until that competition until the 3rd of November. But we also have a new website. I'm trying to get as much info for you. The website is up, but it's not completed, so it's a work in progress. Simon will be working away. The big feature of that now is all the archive has gone up there. We've just got to sort it out so it's easy for you to work your way through it if you want to. We'll come back to you when we're inside a minute and get this start away. Back to you then. Okay, so we're just probably in about 10 seconds ago or even less. And I think you're on Mojo. That's Ewan McNichol, and he's wanted that pin in, not surprisingly. So it's a dash to Bradley's, and there's Pure Blonde. Nick Daly is steering that boat. Woody's, they're still fighting for position here. So we're certainly in the last 15 seconds now, I think. But Ewan going for that pin in, Warwick. That's where you want to be. Run out tide. It's a no-brainer. Kenwood's underway. Who do you like, Warwick, for your podium? Not that we. Oh, hang on.
Individual
recall. So somebody's bought it.
Well, Nick Daly was doing a pretty wild run down the line then, so it may well have been him. I'm not sure. No, DeLonghi's going back.
So Simon Nern's been a culprit. He's at least given himself an uppercut there. So the game is on. First real race of this season. They raced last Sunday, but it was blown out. Only 2 boats got around that track. One was Smeg, fine form, and the other was Kenwood, Brett Van Munster. So that was that result. But today we've got a better competition out here. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13 boats, my quick count. And we'll get over to Bradley's and just work out what's going to happen. But I'm thinking Bowers are down, Warwick, and Mojo's looking pretty good across the fleet, potentially.
Yeah, no, I agree. And got Ewan McNichol on board today. He's just been racing all winter or the European summer, so he's always good on an 18, and he's obviously pretty sharp from all that sailing.
So we're on Mojo now. He's heading into this doldrums there off Bradley's. How far has he got to go before he hits a brick wall in here, mate?
Well,
he's going out.
Yeah.
That's about as far as you want to go?
Exactly. That's a hard thing, to be able to extend far enough so you don't have to take sterns, which he's going to have to do.
Yeah. And he's going to take a few sterns here, He's got Panasonic, Jono Whitty.
Yeah, so that didn't actually work out all that well for him.
They're very bowed down, weren't they?
Yeah. But that's always a risk at the pin end on this course. You've got such a short runway to hit, as you call it, the doldrums. So that's a deal, but it's a long way to go yet.
So the leader possibly is Lumix right there in your view. Jonathan Whitty doing a great job. Always solid in these sorts of brews. He's got his regular crew on, so that's a help. So that's how it's setting itself up. A few gone back to the east there. Malcolm Page in the kitchen maker. But Mojo has crossed Smeg. If you come around to the left, Simon, you can see Mojo's done better out of going off the pin end and taking back across. So there's the difference in the two fleets. Mojo's clear across those starboard tackers. We'll pick it up when it settles down. We've got 2 fleets at the moment. Come back to you then, we'll get up off Taylor Bay. So we've got Lumix, Jono Whitty's guys doing a pretty fine job right now. He's just north of Bradley's. He likes the look of this left-hand side of the track. And he's clear across Malcolm Page, and this other fleet has gone well to the east. Mojo over there, how do you like him? Was it right across behind you there?
Well, I just talking to a skiff legend behind me. He's Johnny Stanley, and he tells me there's a lot more tide over there, so that could pay out for them.
Yeah, well,
so I'll have to wait for the cross to come back in a few minutes' time to see who's picked the right side and who hasn't.
Yeah, we've got 2 different ideas at the moment. There's quite a few takers for the east, so we'll shut down and come back to you when we get some fleet crossing here later on up this northeast beat.